Hey folks, this is Best in Slot, and in tonight's video we're going to discuss the future of the channel, but the main focus is going to be a little teaser on what's coming next. I do mean a very small teaser. I've been working on a little side project for the last few years, another channel, a brand new channel, and it's nearly ready to go. Finally ready to talk about it publicly. Not going to tell you what it is, but you will get some clues, shall we say. A couple of clues coming later on in the video, and feel free to speculate down below about what you think it can be. If you get it right, I will not be telling you, but you'll be able to feel good in a few weeks' time. Before we get into that, the shirt is because I'm going to a party in a couple of weeks, and none of my old shirts fit anymore. They're all a little bit too big these days, and this is like the only one that fits. So I want to see if I liked it or not. I don't have a full-size mirror, so the camera kind of has to do it. So I'm going to watch this back and then see. I'm not convinced, if I'm totally honest. It's not doing it for me. So I'm probably going to have to buy a new one, but we shall see. Back to work. Right, so for those of you who've been on my Patreon or my Discord, both linked down below, for the last 3 years, you'll know that at some point, back when I lived in London, I had a brainwave. I had a big idea for a new channel. I've been teasing this thing for a very, very long time, and I was so confident and excited about this idea. I actually took a loan out. Not a huge loan, don't get me wrong, but I took a loan out, which I'm still paying back to this day, and it's killing me. But I took a loan out to buy some equipment for this idea, because some of it's very expensive, and I got all excited, and then here we are 3 years later, and obviously it still hasn't happened. The only reason I'm talking about it today to you folks at home is because it is close now. The last couple of weeks has been an absolute, last couple of days even, has just been such a huge breakthrough in the development of this idea that I feel finally comfortable talking about it a little bit publicly. Obviously not revealing the whole thing, that will come in the next few weeks hopefully, but a little teaser to get people excited and speculating and stuff like that is the hope. A few people do know what it is, 4 or 5 people, only people who are very near and dear to my heart, who I trust wholly, really know what's going on here. The rest of you will have to wait. But I will give you some information in a little bit. But it's an interesting thing for me, this idea, because but I need to solidify my life post-YouTube. Like, I probably can't do this. You know, I'm 32. Am I 32? 32, Jesus Christ. I'm 32, but I've probably got, 30 to 40 working years left in a standard career. I'd like to retire more like in 15, frankly, but potentially 30 to 40 years left of work. Am I going to be a YouTuber in 40 years' time? It seems unlikely. It seems difficult, if not impossible. So there has to be something else. There has to be life post-YouTube for me. And my plan for that was always just make smart investments with YouTube money and hopefully retire and then go travel, basically. It was always the goal, and it hasn't really worked out like that. So I've always needed something to hopefully let me make more investments now, let me solidify my future now, so when this does go to hell in the end, it's going to happen one day, there's something there, there's a backup there, and then I can go on and maybe work another job or whatever. But the point is that I'm secure, right? Right now I'm very insecure about many things, but right now I'm very insecure. So I always wanted an idea that I thought could solidify my future, and this was that idea. This was every time I was having a bad week, every time my income was a little low, every time things were a bit rough, I always thought in my head, but at least I've got this idea, at least I've got the plan, basically. And that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure on something that doesn't even exist at this point in time. Something that's nearly there, but isn't quite there. Something that could just be a monumental flop. And I think one of the reasons we're talking about this 3 years later and you've never seen it is because I'm just nervous. What if I'm wrong? Everyone says it's a great idea, the few people I've told, but, if you bake a cake for your family or something, they're all going to say it's great, even if they throw up later on. It's just, people are nice. So what if it's a terrible idea? I don't think it is. I think it's a great idea, but what if it's terrible? At the end of the day, it's kind of like asking someone out, though. You might be nervous, and you're opening yourself up to pain by doing it, but if you never do it, yeah, sure, you don't get hurt, but you also don't live, and you never find out, and it could have been a yes. So let's just go for it and see what happens, I suppose, is the idea. So that's probably why we're here talking about this today. As I say, it's close, so I feel comfortable talking about it a little bit more and hyping it up a little bit more. The plan is the 15th of July right now. by the end of August, my dad's just gone on holiday and he took my camera because he didn't have like a proper camera, so he's taken my D750, which I need for this project. So it's at least 2 weeks, and then there's something else I need to get it set up. So realistically, end of August is what I'm aiming for. We'll launch sometime in the fall. I'm always a little apprehensive putting dates on it. Those of you who again have been supporting me on Patreon, for example, know that I plan to launch this at the start of this year. Actually, I planned to launch this like 2 years ago, but January this year I was quite confident about, and things just keep getting in the way and it just becomes impossible. But it's different now. Things are different. Things are close. So I'm going to show you a couple of teasers. The first is a photo that I posted on my Discord. Again, if you're on my Patreon, you saw like a uncropped version of this, which doesn't show much more. But I'm just going to bring a photo up now. Just a little something. Some of you who know about lighting might be able to make more of a guess as to what's going on here based on what you just saw, the light you just saw. I'm not going to say any more than that. And again, I will not be answering questions in the comment section down below. This does have to remain a secret, relatively. The other teaser is a little bit more terrifying. Dun, dun, dun. Can you see that properly? There you go. I did post this on my Discord, and the reaction was weird. Everyone was like, "Oh, that's creepy." There's no, "Why do you have a? Why do you have this?" I'm not saying the name just in case, but why do you have this? Best and Slot. There was none of that. People just assumed I had one for some reason. But that might seem like a weird teaser, but that is a very relevant teaser to what is going on here. Is that enough information to piece it together? I mean, I know the idea, so I'm very biased. I think some people can probably figure it out based on everything I've said over the years. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see what people think. Paleo-related, dinosaur-related, but there's this, and there's a picture you saw before, so what am I doing? You are missing a vital piece of the puzzle, it must be said. That image is not finished. I've added a couple more things since then, but there's one big missing piece of the puzzle, to say the least. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. This is a big thing for me. I'm going to be pushing this quite hard. The plan, by the way, is to make it a new channel. The Best in Slot channel is not going anywhere. The plan is to run them both in tandem. You know, this is a brand new channel. Even if it gets like a boost from you lovely folks at home and I'm going to promote it and yada, 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 it still takes time to grow a new channel from the ground up. It's not going to make money. Like, eventually I hope it does make money, but it's going to take a while to get there. Any of you who've started a new YouTube channel know the absolute turmoil it is to get a channel up off the ground. It's a very, very difficult thing to do these days on YouTube, just because there's so many people out there. There's so many channels out there, so much content out there. It's very hard to break through that. Yeah, teaser. Be teased. I've teased you all. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel if you, well, for more dinosaur nonsense in the meantime, dinosaur gaming and paleo media nonsense. But of course, to find out what this new channel will be, hopefully in the next 6 or so weeks, if not less. I would like to push this to 4. I think that's viable, but it's going to be at least 4 weeks. I can't imagine it being any quicker than that. I'm nervous. It's the first time I've talked about it publicly. It's kind of wild to me. It's been a closely guarded secret for a long time. Let's see what happens. Coming soon. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. I think I already said that. Cheers. Much love. As always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.